Greetings gamers, it is your boy MtG here, back with another Magic the Gathering video, and today we're playing something that may be the jankiest deck I've ever built in Standard, and yeah, it's not great, but it's a work in progress. Okay, so I wanted to do a Yarok the Desecrated into the battlefield, like, value trigger deck. And so one of the reasons I wanted to do this right now is because we have a lot of ways to actually amplify this effect, right? So if you're not familiar with it, Yarok the Desecrated says, if a permanent entering the battlefield causes a triggered ability of a permanent you control to trigger, that ability triggers an additional time. So this was always pretty decent with Risen Reef and other elementals, but it is a little bit hard to get it onto the field and active early enough or consistently enough to make this a really, really solid build around for Standard. But the way we're doing it is we're actually running Neoform, and so we're running small creatures and ramp into Yarok, so hopefully we're able to ramp enough early to get to a 4-drop that we want, or at least even get to a Yarok straight out of the hand, and then if we get a 4-drop out, we can Neoform it into a Yarok. And generally we want to be Neoforming actually one of our 1-drops that we play, either a Gilded Goose or an Arboreal Grazer. We want to be Neoforming that into a 2-drop like Fblthp or Incubation Druid, which is really solid, or even one of our Paradise Druids or Leafkin Druids. But you'll notice all of this in our 2 slot is just ramp. This gives us card draw, and it's really, really solid with Yarok the Desecrated on the field because it keeps our hand full of stuff. And we don't want to run multiple of these. Like anything we are trying to only ever get with Neoform, we only want to run 1 copy of it in our deck. So like Fblthp, Incubation Druid, the only time we want these to actually hit the battlefield is if we are playing them with Neoform. So we sacrifice one of these bad boys, and then we go into our deck and get Fblthp or Incubation Druid, whichever one we really need at the time. If we need super fast ramp, Incubation Druid is the card. If we want to refill our hand with some card draw, Fblthp is also a very good target. And then in the 3 slot, we're running 3 Risen Reefs, which is really optimal alongside Yarok. This gives us a lot of triggers, a lot of ramp, and extra card draw as well. And then we are also running Uro, Titan of Nature's Wrath, because we really needed a way to gain life in this deck, and Uro is it. It also just works very nicely with Yarok the Desecrated. If we can double trigger, we get a 3 life, draw a card, and then we can put a land card from our hand onto the battlefield, which is great. And then it gets jankier as we get to the 4 slot, okay? It gets extra janky. We have a Thassa Deep Dwelling because I wanted a way to, again, as I was saying, I wanted a way to amplify this into the battlefield effect so we can bounce something at the end of our turn and bring it back. So this works particularly well with Fblthp or Cloudkin Seer or Risen Reef, anything like that. Thassa Deep Dwelling makes really, really nice. And then we also have a Nightmare Shepherd, so if we are board wiped or if something dies, we can exile it and then create a 1/1. And if it has an end of the battlefield effect, that 1/1 is going to trigger that into the battlefield effect. So we can essentially, if someone tries to kill Yarok and we have a Nightmare Shepherd on the field, we can protect it by exiling Yarok and then creating a 1/1 version of it instead. And then we're also playing Wicked Wolf, which is a solid little bit of removal, which is really important in this deck. Most of the time, we really just want to be powering up our board and then going over the top at the end of the game to kill our opponent. But we also want to occasionally remove things. So Wicked Wolf is pretty nice, and we can play Wicked Wolf because we do have a Gilded Goose, which will presumably be making us at least 1 food token during the game, hopefully more than that. But again, we don't want to run a bunch of copies of these bad boys because we don't want to see them that often. Occasionally these are good on turn 1, but most of the time we're okay with turn 2 ramp. And then we're also running 2 Golgari Findbrokers. I found this to be very, very nice, especially with Thassa Deep Dwelling. We can just keep on getting stuff out of our graveyard, which we should be putting stuff into our graveyard with Neoform and Uro, Titan of Nature's Wrath, etc. And then we've got Prime Speaker Vannifar, which is essentially an Neoform on a stick. So if we don't ever draw into our Neoforms, this Prime Speaker Vannifar should get us that effect anyway. Then we're also running a single copy of Zegana Utopian Speaker, which isn't particularly good, but it can occasionally draw us a card and turn itself into a bigger creature in the late game. And give us away if we put some 1/1 counters on creatures with Roalesk, Apex Hybrid, Roalesk, Apex Hybrid. We can generally power through our opponent's defenses that way. We're also running a single copy of Massacre Girl in those occasions where we need to kill a bunch of our opponent's creatures. And then our mana base is all over the place. I suggest you figure that out on your own. Do what you have. Use what you have in terms of shock lands and scry lands and stuff. Get as close to the best as you can. But what I like about this deck is that really I was just like, what do I have that could go in here? And let's just throw stuff together. So that's essentially what I did. I just threw stuff into the pile. And yeah, we have 25 lands in here. Normally, most decks, it auto puts 24 lands in your decks, but 25 I think is best for this, maybe even 26, just because we do need to ramp quite a bit. And we have a lot of ways to draw cards, so generally we don't flood really bad. I have had one practice game where I flooded really, really bad, and that was annoying, but we should be okay for the most part. And now, since I'm talking about practice games, I barely did any practice games with this deck. It is almost completely untried, so here we go. First look at a probably really bad Sultai pod deck. I am excited about it because I like Yarok and Desecrated, and I like the pod like Neoform kind of strategy. I think it's kind of fun and interesting. Gives us a little toolkit out of our deck because we can go in and get what we want or what we need at the time. So yeah. One thing. Okay. I'll keep. Hopefully we can Temple of Malady into a land. Risen Reef. As much as I want to keep Risen Reef, I really cannot. I'm going to bottom that. And now I may put myself in a bad position because I was hoping for a land that can come in untapped here to get down a... Ooh, Overgrown Tomb, actually, that works. So we'll go Overgrown Tomb, and then... Yeah, Paradise Druid is fine. We'll go Fabled Passage. So once we hit turn 4, we can play Yarok and Desecrated. Assuming we're not dead by then. It looks like they're just doing... oh my lord, what is happening here? This is silly. Okay. Let's go Fblthp here. Obviously, we drew the 2 cards that I said we never really want to draw, but that's fine. Yeah, we'll just go ahead and activate that. Strip a land out so we hopefully don't draw a land next time. Let's go Island. Soulmender. Okay, so I'm expecting an Ajani's Pridemate pretty quickly, or not? That's interesting. Okay, so we'll go Fabled Passage. Get a Forest out, and then we can go Yarok. Fingers crossed they don't have a Conclave Tribunal to get rid of my Yarok the Desecrated. That would make me unhappy, to say the least. Okay, very interesting. We'll go Roalesk Apex Hybrid. Yep, we're gonna put 2+1/+1 counters on you, and 2+1/+1 counters on you. So we're gonna make him really big and attack because he has lifelink, and that makes me just very happy because we get to gain back a lot of the life we just lost. So yeah, so we take him back to 20. We go to 18. Fingers crossed they don't have removal for him. I'm guessing they will draw into it at some point, but we do have another Yarok to replace it with. The only bad news being that we can't really necessarily put more counters on it. Okay, very interesting. Let's go ahead and... I'm going to attack first. I'm actually going to attack all here. I think attacking with Roalesk is fine. I know that it like removes my blockers, but we are, swinging in with a bunch of power there, so that's okay. And then we really need to get Risen Reef here to pop off Idyllic Range. I wasn't paying attention very closely. Okay, Neoform. And I'm actually going to decline. Because what we're going to do is... wait a second. We want to probably... Oh yeah, we're gonna actually Neoform our Risen Reef into a Thassa Deep Dwelling, so we can bounce Roalesk and then get just a ridiculous amount of value out of that nonsense. Watery Grave actually, let's bottom that. We don't really need another land right now. Nightmare Shepherd is fine. We'll bounce Roalesk. I'm actually going to put it on, spread out these, because when he dies, if he dies, I do proliferate, so I want to have multiple creatures with +1/+1 counters on it. I'm guessing, so it looks like they're flooding really bad. Why are you playing a Johnny Inspiring Leader? My guy. Oh, what? Okay, exiled my Roalesk. That is fine, I suppose. And they're just attacking. I guess they're just giving in at this point. Like, they know that it's a lost cause. That's fine. So we'll go Nightmare Shepherd. We don't have lethal, but we'll just do that. We'll go attack, attack, attack. And then we'll bounce, at the end of the turn, I'm going to bounce Fblthp, so I get to draw a card here. Two cards because of Yarok. That's why we do this. So the whole point of the deck is to draw extra cards, essentially. So we've got a full hand, full-handed goodies. And they have an Impassioned Order. Whoa, no. Banishing Light. Okay, probably they banish Yarok. The Desecrated sucks, but we do have another Yarok, so I guess it's fine. Okay, so we go Yarok number 2. And then, I mean, I guess we just pass, right? Like, there's not really anything, there's no point in playing, I guess we could play it for the reach. But we'll go Fblthp here. Draw some extra cards, probably just end up discarding Arboreal Grazer. Yeah, we do have to discard a card. We'll discard that, because it is no use to me. You do have to sometimes kind of watch out for milling yourself with this deck, because we have so many ways to draw cards that it can get a little dangerous. So let's go Risen Reef first, before we do anything else, see what we get, because it's going to trigger twice. Leafkin Druid, not bad. Paradise Druid, also not bad, but not particularly great. Yeah, we'll shock that in. I'm going to attack with Yarok the Desecrated. If they block with, what, 5 creatures and kill it, which is definitely something they could do, we can just exile this Yarok and then, yeah, create a 1/1 with it, with Nightmare Shepherd, which will trigger our Risen Reef. Just general shenaniganery. We actually want to do that. Kill the Soulmender, kill the Healer's Hawk. Yeah. Resolve all. Yeah, we'll take action. Draw through some more cards here. Yes, we do want to put that on. We get this scry. We'll scry that to the bottom. Actually, you know what? We're going to keep that on top and just put it on the battlefield. Yeah, enters tapped. That's all right with me. Okay, so let's go. Yeah, we'll go Prime Speaker Vannifar. We get a lot of value out of that. Turns Thassa Deep Dwelling into... I didn't even realize I was going to get that. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, we'll go Risen Reef. Probably have to discard some cards here, but, I mean, we're in a position to win at this point because we do have Thassa as a creature now. We get the double scry. Prime Speaker Vannifar, bottomed. Breeding Pool, we keep. We'll just go ahead and get that out of our deck. Take action. There we go. So we got a handful of cards and a board full of creatures. Still going to have a little bit of a hard time winning here, which is unfortunate. Oh, you know what's kind of hilarious? Check this out. I'm going to sacrifice this Risen Reef. I'm going to exile it, create another 1/1 Risen Reef, even though Risen Reef is already a 1/1. Golgari Findbroker. Yes, take action. We get a scry here. Oh, is that the second? That was the second trigger on Risen Reef. That was a little dumb. Yeah, we need Zegana as Utopian Speaker. Because we've got a counter on Thassa, so that gives her trample. Alright, let's see what they can do about this. Okay, so they're going to kill my Paradise Druid. Not the end of the world. Yep, that's fine. Why didn't I attack with Nightmare Shepherd? What was I thinking? Whatever. I'm actually gonna... Yeah, I mean, there's no reason not to, honestly. Except if I had an Uro in the graveyard, that would have been kind of nice. Let's see, think about what I can do. Let's go... Just Fabled Passage. Get our... last basic land? No, there's 2 basic lands left. We'll go Swamp. And then we'll go Gilded Goose. Get us 2 food tokens. And then I'm going to Neoform. Should have done this already. Oh wait, this is actually kind of funny. Check this out. Okay, so Wicked Wolf fights you, and I'm going to submit 0 because Daxos is going to die anyway. Once Impassioned Order is dead, Daxos dies because his toughness goes down, and then that's a board wipe. They're donezo, baby. They finally conceded. Sorry, I was taking forever. I feel bad for them. I just kind of took forever and played them out, even though they knew they were going to lose for like the last 5 minutes of that match. Okay, let's get into another one. See if we can get some more shenanigans going, baby. A Rhinosaurus. Rhinosaurus. Ooh, very nice. Good starting hand. Okay. Very good starting hand. Okay, so let's go Breeding Pool. Arboreal Grazer. And we'll put it down at Temple of Malady. Actually, if I keep Overgrown Tomb... Yeah, we'll keep it on top because we're going to need our 5th land, but this means we can get to 4 lands next turn. So on turn 3, we're going to have 5 lands out, which gives us a Yarok. Desecrated, excuse me. So we'll go ahead and we Arboreal Grazer first to put the extra land onto the battlefield. We'll put Temple of Deceit down. We scry that to the bottom. But the bad news is we're going to have to shuffle our library anyway because I'm a dummy. Well, no. Oh, wait, yes, because I want to play Paradise Druid this turn. Duh. Let's go. I have 2 life mana sources, 2 blue, 2 greens. We'll go Forest. Paradise Druid. So good start. Good start. And we have a couple reach creatures if they start putting auras on Transcendent Envoy. We do have blockers. This may be a little bit more of a knockdown, drag out. Knockout, drag down kind of match. Ooh, wonderful. Yeah, we'll just go ahead and play Yarok straight up, and then enters tapped, and then no attacks. So if we don't draw into something good here, we're going to be in trouble. Even a scry land isn't bad because we can get at least a double scry. So if we draw a land, it better be a scry land, or I'm going to be very sad. Because having 1 card in our hand with this deck is no bueno. No bueno at all. All that glitters. Ooh. Okay. Zegana's Utopian Speaker does absolutely nothing for me because we don't have a creature with 1/1 counter on it. It pains me. That pains me. I'm going to attack with Yarok the Desecrated, see if they block with anything here. Okay, they block with the 1/1, which is fine. Man, this does nothing. So I'm just gonna pass. This Transcendent Envoy is getting big, so we're gonna have to figure out a way to deal with that. Cetessan Champion. It may be good to include Dungeon Geists. Dungeon Geists would definitely be like a decent inclusion in this deck. Just as removal, essentially. That is terrifying. Holy crap. Yeah, that's not great. I think we know we don't block it at this point because it's only going to get way stronger. Oh, come on. That's terrible. I think we may be toast, but we do have like we can stall them out for a little bit. So I'm going to go ahead and go Zegana this turn because I can adapt her next turn. No attacks, because if they attack with Cetessan Champion, I do want to be able to block it with Yarok the Desecrated. Angelic Gift, huh? That's not great. Oh boy. Oh boy. Cetessan Training. Okay, yep. That's only a 15/15 with Trample. Oh look, all the glitters. 23/23 with Trample. Do we lose? Like, oh, we're dead, right? Oh, we're dead. We're dead. No blocks. We die. Such an annoying deck. If you don't have removal like early, you're dead. Even if we did have removal, they eventually got out outside of Life's Bounty, and they're probably playing like Karametra's whatchamacallit, the one that gives hexproof. Anyway, it's a good deck. It's an annoying deck to play against. I should probably build a version of that and play it on the channel. But I have yet to open like I think a single Cetessan Champion, so it's a little bit difficult to do. I'm actually gonna keep. It's a pretty bad hand, but I'm gonna keep it. Vampire of the Dark. Oh, nice. Very good. So we'll go Arboreal Grazer, play our Watery Grave. No blocks. No blocks. Oh, they passed. Very interesting. Let's go Temple of Mystery. Do we want a Temple of Deceit? I think not. We'll bottom that, and then... Oh, wait. I should have Neoformed before. I always do this. So, here's the thing. We'll sack you. Do we go... We probably go Incubation. No, I think we go Fblthp because we are flooding a little bit. We need that double card draw there. Oh, very nice. We drew into Thassa. So we can play Thassa next turn. But it looks like... Okay, they kill Fblthp, which is kind of okay because it gets shuffled back into our library. I think we'll go... So look, our basics and then our Fabled Passages. That's great. Let's go Fabled Passage. Activate for a forest. So we can go Uro, Titan of Nature's Wrath. We gain some life, draw a card, and then we have to sack it. We'll put a swamp onto the battlefield, and then we'll play Paradise Druid. How many cards do you have to exile? 5 other cards from a graveyard. That's kind of a lot. So, we're going to have to get there. We're going to have to do that. Honestly, I'm going to block that. We don't really need the ramp from Paradise Druid, and we need to limit the ways they can gain life to buff up Bloodthirsty Aerialist if we want to actually win. Oh, look, another land. Wonderful. Very nice. So let's go Fabled Passage. I probably could have... Wait, I definitely could have cast Uro from the graveyard if I hadn't played Thassa, but too bad I'm an idiot, so... Yeah. Ooh, Grey Merchant. Okay, that gains them some life. They deal me some damage. Uh-huh. Yep, exile all of them bad boys. We'll go... I'm actually going to put the forest on because I'm going to want to, I think, get to 4. Yeah, we'll pay the 2 life because I want to be able to use Thassa's ability to tap Bloodthirsty Aerialist on their turn. Exile up to 1. So if I do this, I'll have to sacrifice it. So I submit 0. I don't do that right now. That's a little little sucky side effect of just the cards we drew. Yeah, resolve. I mean, not much else we can do. We'll go exile Overgrown Tomb. Before we pass to attackers, we'll tap Bloodthirsty Aerialist. Do they have removal for Uro? Because we want to be able to attack with him. Vampire of the Dire Moon. That's unfortunate, because it has Death Touch. Okay. Okay. If I go, I could actually Neoform Prime Speaker Vannifar into a Yeah. Okay. We're going to, this is goofy. It's a goofy play, but we're going to Neoform Prime Speaker Vannifar into Massacre Girl. Okay. Stay with me. Yeah. And then we get to attack with Uro. There we go. Let's go, gamers. Oh, yeah. Check this out. Watch this. Boom. Dead. And as a side effect, Uro dies too, but, you know, whatever. We can bring it back eventually. But we did board wipe them and get the value out of Uro that we wanted, so... Whew! That's why you played Neoform, baby. Okay, I get to... Okay, whatever. That's fine. All fine. So we'll go to combat. Go to damage, and then I'm not even going to play Leyline Prowler because I'd rather, well, no, I think I do play it. I think I do play it because of the lifelink. It kind of essentially trades, and then I can bounce that to get rid of deadweight, and it doesn't kill any of my stuff. But it was a close one because I definitely forgot about the Yarok, the Desecrated. That could have been bad. Could have been bad. Fine. We've got life linkers, so we're good. We are good. Let's go for it. We gain 5, deal, what was that, 9. Then we get to go Fblthp. We draw 2 cards, and we're back in the game in a big way. I mean, I don't think I play Zegana because we don't have anything with a counter on it, but we can get something with a counter on it. We'll bounce Fblthp to draw those extra cards. Chunga. Nice. Very nice. Resolve. That's fine. We're going to exile Temple of Mystery. We don't really need it. Yep, we'll adapt 3. This becomes a 3/5. Like, actually kind of a formidable force. We'll play Zegana first. Get those. We get to draw 2 cards here. Temple of Deceit. We'll just go ahead and tap her down. Go to combat. They can make this a 2/2, but we're not worried about that because it can't really bother any of the stuff we have on the board that we're actually attacking with. And oh, we take him to 1 because I am bad. Okay, we'll go Temple of Deceit. We get a double scry. Bottom of Watery Grave. Bottom of Fabled Passage. And Gilded Goose. Bounce Fblthp to draw 2 more cards. Because that's how the deck do, baby. That's how it do. Ooh, another Uro. Very nice. I mean, that's GG. They can't do anything. Destroyed by the JANK. Good game. Oh, Dread Presence. That's actually kind of a fun part. Yeah. Neato Mosquito. That's the deck, folks. I will show you one alternate way that I built this, and I decided after playing with it once or twice that I didn't like it. And it has to do with Dread Presence. I'll do that right after I open this pack for you, pack opening fiends. What we got? Ooh, first Uro games. Very nice. Okay, Sultai Pod is back. What I was gonna do is it a Druid? Is what I'm thinking of Druid? Nope. What is the card I'm thinking of? The, this Dryad, not Druid, is a Dryad of the Elysian Grove. So I was going Dryad of the Elysian Grove in the 3 slot. I was running 2 of it, and then in the 4 slot, I was running 2 Dread Presence, because when Dryad of the Elysian Grove is on the field, you may play an additional land on each of your turns, and lands you control are basic land type, in addition to their other land types. So that every land we would play would be a swamp, even though we're not playing a mono black deck. So we would essentially be making Dread Presence good in a Sultai deck with Dryad of the Elysian Grove and getting double triggers off Yarok. I found that it wasn't consistent enough for that play to be like really good, but I think there may be a way to make that a line of play a little more consistent. So it could be another avenue to look into this with. And if you have thoughts on what I could do to do alternatives with this deck, I don't think this is ever going to be like a meta deck. I mean, we lost pretty hard to the only meta deck we played. But it's pretty fun and kind of decent. You know, if you're not trying to climb rank, it's a pretty decent deck to play. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I will see you in the next one. It has been fun. Peace.